Well, good afternoon as we're sitting here at LTV on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, March 4th, year 2025, here with the Hello Hello Show. My name is Haim Mizrahi, continuing with the tradition of public access and the tradition of the Hello Hello Show that's been on the air since 1980. Of course, not to fail to mention the contribution by Fraser Dougherty, Francis Ann, then of course the likes of you out there that make it your business to enhance and fortify this concept. Um, of course, uh, we want to believe that the concept that carries so much meaning and weight with it is something that offers itself to the mass in a very natural way and to be accepted as such, and to not only have these tools that make our lives more of a kind of privileged quality life, but also practical and meaningful. And to maintain that level of consistency is something that is really the job of every person out there, especially if you're part of this country, directly or indirectly. This is the name of the game. We want to believe that if we feel special, if we live in a special place, if we have certain realities such as public access that is available to us, and we want to be able to say that we not only that we're going to use it indeed, but we're going to improve it, we're going to add to it, we're going to contribute, we're going to make ourselves available. And now, the engagement that we have here, the close engagement with art, and the last 30 years portraying and showing and exhibiting art of artists in numerous group shows. I had the privilege to be the curator for almost 30 years. Uh, since the early days of Sabina Hindra, that was here with her energy and contribution, wonderful. I learned a lot from her, and I continue that which she has started 3 decades ago. This place is a part of that web, and you can easily say that it has its own characteristics that makes you comfortable as soon as you step into the building here. You know you belong. You know the reality on the surface leaves no doubt to whether you are or not. So in the journey where we have, of course, if you're an artist like myself, that journey is very sacred and intimate, and also um, self-explanatory. I can say self-explanatory because it has a guideline that for some reason always maintains its crispiness. Uh, I don't find myself questioning or um, demanding demanding certain things that that if you were to do things right, you never would have to find yourself in a situation where you demand. You, you use that which is available, and then quickly enough you realize that there's so much material there that you're safe for the next 10 years when it comes to material, when it comes to points of reference, um, when it comes to uh, acknowledging the value of tools, and acknowledging the value of preparations and preemption, and looking ahead and interpreting the needs that will be the reality that we're going to be facing at some point as we know ourselves to be those who push ahead and wonderfully bring to life a many inviting. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can make this call. You have to indulge me. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. So yeah, you know, life does not stop out there, and that's good. And I wanted to actually call my friend. Sorry about it. Just one more minute here. Let's see. Okay, so that's. Let me just see. I don't know how I'm starting all this now here, but it's a. Okay, let's see. I might as well. So yeah, as I emphasized, uh, the aspect of the times where you are allowed to take things for granted, the time that you feel more accomplished and capable, and you got the answers, so you can move forward, whether it's slowly or quickly. At least you know you're moving forward, and then the realization of that kind of con- constant anticipation that indeed um, um, that you can evaluate your surrounding and you, your location, your position, your placement. You can find it to be a great tool to emphasize it and to interpret and reinterpret, and then slowly but surely see that you have a you whatever structure that you have available are pretty much structures that you yourself are constructing, you yourself are putting together, you yourself know the details and the information regarding how to enjoy it, how to use it, how to benefit from it, how to just adapt it as something good in your life. Sometimes just the right brush that's comfortable to you and for you. It goes where you want it to go, and it does what you want it to do, and it reacts and it yields as you would expect it to be. Um, and there's a lot of potential in the immediacy of reaction. That actually you know that your hands are full as is if you were to remain just the way you are with all the inspiration you have, with all the tools and all the requirements that an artist need, and uh, you, you you can easily say to yourself, I'm good where I am. This can last forever. But some of us don't feel this way. Some of us, this motion forward is meaningful. We see it differently, maybe, than most people. It's of value in a way that you can witness the changes that are taking place on the behalf of the characteristics of that stage that you find yourself in. I know it sounds a little confusing, but it's in that sense. Let me just see if this is. Let's see. One. Anyway, so yeah, I guess it's one. No, okay. So that's so you so you witness the cracking, the falling apart, the separation, um, the how should I put it? The uh, and it's like sometimes I don't find myself frustrated. It's more like, wait a second, but I write about everything. So but I write really, but I write about everything, about the canvas, about art, about painting, about playing music, about just life, about being a community member, a dad, a parent, a husband, friend. You pick you. Um, I write about it. It's like there's no more beauty than having that material available, and then you find yourself actually writing about it. It's amazing, and I have miles and miles, and I want to use the word miles because it stretches into the distance that uh, you know good stuff. So when we talk about the greenhouse, there's like the greenhouse below the ground that bring me that message that a picturesque scene for the infernal. And scrambling precise predictions. And under the veil of complacency itself, that we can find ourselves feasting upon the sudden flesh by night. I call it flesh by night. I don't even know. It just feels right. Flesh by night. And grieving later on in the heart of darkness kind of thing. But it's actually a good thing because uh, it's in the midst of the sighing of midnight. It's illuminating the path. The heaven that's hidden in the shadows. Don't ask me how come, but it sounds like perfect math. It sounds like the epitome of mathematics in the basic process of getting the idea, finding the subject matter, utilizing the tool, finding yourself in the heat of it, creating the composition, maintaining coherence and balance. And guess what? You have a painting in front of you that happens to be 100% yours. It's unbelievable. That's something that's illuminating the path to uh, uh, heaven that's hiding in the shadows. And I don't know, like under the watchful eye of the iron fist. And all this is, seared. It's like, I don't know, is it grazed or glazed leftovers? Grazed leftovers, yeah. And maintaining that cautious distance from it for the sake of salvaging the, the grain of despair that lingers in moments. And you can talk about it freely, it's not like, and the reflection suspended on whatever it is that you find it very difficult to name, that is before oblivion. I don't know what it means really, but it's blending, it's singing, um, strange and mournful. Yet, despite of all, and no matter what and how you, it's still with dignity, which is something that we should be very happy about. And with and suddenly you feel like when you go through that, suddenly your neck is like resolute. Something about did you see that side of many people, necks resolute, somewhat stiff, but still nevertheless the urge uh, to question the foreseen fate. Don't even ask me. It's known, this is known uh, uh, to the afflicted and to the bystanders. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. The final call arrives eventually, finally, and but this time it's laden, and brick by brick, somehow you manage to elevate the horizon, and it makes sense, that metaphor, belonging to the grasshopper. Uh, who reveals in the light, and then you hear the voice in your head saying, "Learn it, learn it, learn it, learn it, learn it." Don't ask me too much. And yeah, and it says, the soul searching. It's like soul searching soulmate. Go figure. Okay. Soul searching soulmate. That's trash beneath the weak layouts. But it's one by one, and it's priceless when it runs alongside the green rivers. It's spooky, and suddenly the storm becomes your friend. The storm itself becomes your friend. Go figure. And underground, peeking and pecking and all the ing, and a like a stumble of fresh air. That's what, lack of better words, there's against a fleeting mastery. Write it down. That's actually an important one. A fleeting mastery, and uh, and then of course you get to a point where you say, "Live and learn." Yes, live and learn. And what do you learn? And it's always they said, live and learn, and and then for some reason someone is placing a rumor, and wherever there's truth, it will be alongside this truth. This rumor will be placed there, and then always a sudden appearance will take place, and so much so that you're gonna have to catch your breath, because it's really becoming and finding out about the thing that most needed, really, and there are many, so we won't even mention. Creating a parallel line, and and then a simple gesture that happens to be pleased, which is a big deal in itself. And what seemed like a needy, homeless soul, that turned out wasn't homeless at all, which is a nice revelation, I think. And but the one who owned the entire block was owned by this supposedly um, homeless. And guess what? Lucky for you, because you were the one who were nice to that homeless, miserable soul. You were. So you got your blessings cut out for you, and there will be plenty of them. And so you keep your mouth shut. That would be a clever thing to do, especially in situations where, and now, because you're realizing now you have a roof over your head, which is a good thing, secured, for at least for a while longer. And for a while longer, you might as well say eternity, because we know a lot about that. Masters brew their pride from the word brewing. Yeah, I mean, the metaphor here is incredible. Um, Again, you can be cliche. In the stillness of the night, you can always throw that sentence to make things happen this way or that way, or both ways. And until the oxygen begins to thin, going through the thinning process, and uh, 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 so much so till uh, love and until love and care with it were uh, all that, the only thing really that can salvage the soul, and you have plenty of it, so you're kind of safe, and your soul is safe. Um, and we're talking about the sensitive aspects of being. That's what actually is under discussion, regardless. And if you realize that, you're actually in good hand, the hands that happens to be your own, in the good hands that are your own. It's a great, wonderful deal. And uh, so yes, it's about beings. It's about the Almighty. It's about it's everything is with pleasure and certainty. I mean, can you dig that? Yeah, I can dig that. Can you relate to it? Um, uh, and it's all drifting back to green rivers. Now, this is what I call, the amazing aspect of storytelling poetry. And you sit there and you and and then right beneath the veil of complacency, you suspecting you will find something that is whatever, like a feast. Um, a feast upon my flesh at night or by night, you always throw a night there. You want to be cliche. I try to shy away and run away from that which is cliche, but I always keep enough of it so I can always kind of say by night, at night, through the night. So feast upon the sudden flesh by night. Throw that night in. You feel a little safer, and we will grieve later, because there's always grieving to be done, to be experienced and practiced. I will grieve later. Again, want to be cliche, in the heart of darkness, I can say, in the inner parts of that which lacks sufficient light. And that light we're talking about is the light that we were hoping to have as a part of our lives, because we need that in our lives. And uh, all is being watched by the iron fist. We're not scared of it. We don't make much of it, but it's there. The iron fist, it's all within the equation of that. Um, um, you know, anyway, I'm going to skip the part where you suddenly become a chef, and then you can start searing, searing, searing in what is it that the leftovers. You're going to be doing incredible things with the leftovers, with that which remains, the remnant. Okay, but we won't get into this. These are the grazed leftovers, because we want to suggest that we are inseparable part of it that happens to be meaningful. But we're not going to get into it because we already know these things. Why bother? So, what is it? Grazed the leftovers, um, keeping the cautious distance, and maintaining that level of readiness for the reflections, uh, the suspense, the edges of oblivion, and all that. But we talked about it before, and then you jump right into the. When we speak of light, you must speak of the darkest depths. It sounds morbid, but you know what? It's not, because it's blushing uh, beneath the premonitions. Yes, it blushes. It's like incredible. I can't find the word. What kind of incredibility it is. Um, the red and yellow comes to mind suddenly to accompany us with the and hues rebounding, HUES, hues rebounding. Remember that. Write it down. Especially if you're an artist, go back to the canvas, start actualizing these things that you wrote in your mind, that you get in your photographic memory, and you're safe. You certainly feel safe, and that's always a good thing in the face of uh, like I call it dimples of disbelief. Dimples of disbelief. Um, they they curve a belly. Now we're talking about sketching with zero knowledge, but with 100% courage. You know what that is? That spells superpower. Casually having that, uh, and now you become into the thick of that which is complex, because you can easily abandon it without declaring that you're abandoning. You can just quit. Suddenly you will be nowhere to be found. That's okay. That's acceptable. But if there's any loss, will happen to be yours. That's a guarantee. Maybe to us a little bit, but you're going to be the one who's going to pay the greater price in that sense. So you how should you say the uh, suddenly it's all about suggesting a new life. That's a good thing. Of course, we know that, and even in places where the solution, even when solutions are really airtight, that really uh, 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 summoning the soothe, SOOTH, yeah, summoning the soothe, um, and then this is beyond what you just experienced, the hills, beyond the rolling hills. So we're talking about Mother Nature also performs vigorously in actions, sometimes destructive, sometimes irreplaceable, sometimes uh, is salvageable, unsalvageable, and things like that. But the truth is this: um, um, it's it's sheltered, and it's all about really concealing bright surprises, because the surprise is very threatening, especially if you're up to no good. So there's no need for reconciliation, which usually you would think there is, but you accept it with love because you know the implications of it. Only swirling fingers guiding nature in a certain way or another, like a playful prank. Write it down. That's important. Playful, a playful prank, because nobody gets upset at the end. Um, like an ocean tipping, and it's nesting. It's nesting uh, uh, as it is half past the hour. That means we need to go back to a touch of coherence, because it takes away the potential derailment of established order. You know what I'm talking about, and um, pinching. And that's actually a great pinching time towards the to turn toward a fleeting recovery. Remember that fleeting recovery, um, and suddenly the sub the subtitle is becoming clearer and clearer. It's like, uh, mechanized web. Write it down. Important. Mechanized web in the realm of night. Again, you want to throw night there, man. You want to at least pay your fair share when it comes to that which is cliche. Night, okay? So, in the realm of night, some dream, while others really at the same token, speaking of the brushing past the shadowy embrace. I like shadowy embrace. I mean, you must admit it sounds pretty good, and it's a um, wait. I have to just do something with your. Uh, Okay. I Okay, so I just want to finalize here. What is it? Do we have? Okay, it's actually uh, um, then commonality kicks in. Sharing, having that identity. Like silence and urgency. Mixed together. That's actually a wonderful. Um, tossing the coin of what of that. The registration of. How should I say it? Um, of the coin itself, really, and that's in flipping between the unseen moments, and actually that's where magic rests comfortably, and you are actually uh, um, enjoying the game. The game is on an ongoing basis, from the from that color blue, a mentor rises. That's known also from brightening. You know, looking for the meaningfulness that happens to be really how to put it. Yeah. Uh, uh, I don't know if because there's so many subject matters that are about resilience and about you know um, um, how do I uh, it's like you wanted to leave behind that what was meant to shine. You wanted to leave behind what was meant to shine in the forefront of the overbearing introduction of pure caring. And then, you go to the, uh, uh, again, bring the dark into the equation. I whispered into the dark, into the dark. And what did I see? That it's not abandoned, but the echoes return, a silent affirmation, a resonance like standing still. And this particular night is an important one. So we want to kind of have that keep on uh, calling quietly, making sure that you are heard, and making people aware of your presence, and maintaining. And then you find yourself being embedded in the calm. You're really calm. You're embedded in the calm, um, and uh, and your presence, lingers. Uh, like a tranquil assurance of eternal connection uh, especially in the thought of the afterlife. So we want to um, a whisper of eternity's embrace, and that's purposely being intentional and I mean kind of uh, predictable. Just so and then when you start experiencing emotional eruption, when you're searching for something that is new, uh, you feel the pull to take a different path, and that's a good place to be when you uh, step into the unknown, where unexpected moments can emerge, even in the middle of chaos. Especially in the middle of chaos, because they have, uh, and your sadness might be feeling, might feel overwhelming, and uh, adding small painful details to your everyday life, which is a good place to be. And while your moments of joy help guide you into the happening that particular uh, through sudden changes and bursts of emotions seem to come out of nowhere. And that's a place that's a very meaningful understanding, because sometimes old feelings explode. They're mixed with a bit of a bit of fear, and uh, even if hope doesn't arrive, or just at just the right moment, uh, there's always a chance to start over when it's time to get back, especially time to get back on your feet. You want to take this under consideration. You need a strong urge to act in your own unique way, uh, and blending all the parts of yourself to keep growing, even if it means pushing your limits. That's not something that should really deter you from thinking that what you're doing is the right thing or the wrong thing. It's the right thing. Um, and you might be even finding yourself feeling a bit sorrow, and that sorrow as as you as you change, especially of course, sorrow, the gentle aspect of pain, and but remember, uh, you becoming the strength itself that you always wanted to be. You wanted to be strength itself. You wanted to be strength itself. Now you have the chance. Now you actually realizing you're becoming. You are strength itself, and that's an incredible place to be. And it feels like it's might feel like it's happening too soon, but that this thing doesn't work on you. You take it as it comes, and you enjoy it, and you benefit from it, and all this. It's like an early warning from a smoke detector, And life sometimes calls you uh, to reach out for help. No shame in that. No, we welcome that kind of openness and flexibility. And even when you're feeling alone, that's a big factor. Even some people don't think much of it. And so deep down, your inner strength, and you're finding out that the more often than not, that gathers courage, much like a fighter who refuses to give up. He's getting clubbed and but not, and he refuses to give up in a very kind of classy way. No matter how dark the times get, really. And now it's entering the zone of that which is cliche, which is okay, it's welcomed. And no matter how dark the times get, uh, you keep going. Your journey. your journey actually turns out to be powerful and worth every every step. And without any hesitation, really, if you think about it, you quickly enough opening yourself up to a slow motion, like a brief slow motion, I call it, and 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 then before finally the race slows down, we want to be able to, we call it meeting lane, and it's grinding numbers uh, behind the final count, if you may use these analogies for that. It's like a brief slow motion uh, reach after reach. And I thought that was interesting to think in those terms because it's closer now. Uh, Before it was the a strap of an unknown hour. That's actually important if you can write it. Before it was the strap of an unknown hour. Um, but you, nevertheless, still you let it go with such grace. It's unbelievable. I draw the line with that hope that I have. I take hope and I draw the line with it, and that's a good place to be. An increasing value, a meeting lane, houses on the hill. That's it. It grieved the feel of getting closer to pain. Already at the time, the knowledge of that pain coming is actually a part of grieving itself, which we need a certain amount of it to maintain sane. And and so in the attempt, you get into a place where you feel like it's a draw. Okay, it's even, it's good. You're in good terms with whatever your opponent, whichever and whatever it might be, happens to be. It doesn't matter. It took place, and it's a draw, and it's a relief. And it's a good place to be. And a moment ago, uh, you weren't there. How many times do you think about it? But if just a moment ago you weren't there, where there is irrelevant. You weren't there, and and uh, and then maybe coming back, extended the justifications to breathe, to resolve, and then finally the race slows down. We know that becomes a pleasant, fast walk toward that which shines with cause. It's again welcoming some cliche aspect. It's like a familiar conviction made. A familiar conviction made it clear, and that's also a good feeling, a good experience to have that. Um, uh, Yet the gathering in the holy place shone, Shone. Is it O-N? No. Yeah, Shone. Shone. And uh, all the way down the slope of Mary. And that's Merry. Slope of Mary. Write it down. It's an important one. Actually, it serves you as a weapon. That's all through the heart. We always want to bring the heart now and then. We want to welcome it into the equation. We want to create a home for it and portray our openness and flexibility. So, uh, 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 and it's wrapped within the artist's sleeve. If you can come to terms with that by way of down to earth, simple understanding, you're a king and a queen together, combined. No, seriously. So it's transparent, yet keeping us all alive in the same token, and no doubt about it. And that's probably the most important aspect of it. The no doubt about it part. Because why? Because there's value in not taking things for granted, especially if they happen to be extremely important, extremely meaningful, and that you want mm, uh, uh, and you pick and choose. I think yes, you pick and choose your battles, uh, and the desire, it's drama stricken and slow burning, uh, and it knows nothing of the back and forth. I mean, lashes believe in miracles. Write down, lashes believe in miracles. That's important. Somewhat committed to a sound, hidden and well guarded. You always you want to admire those who acknowledge and recognize importance of certain things and treasure them and protect them and safekeep them and guard them and shelter them. Thank God for that. So this time the dream did not add a wishful thinking as a condition to sleep. I love that. You can still dream that and be happily sleeping, and never mind the leftover. Uh, Thinly spread um, in a civil residence. We can write this down. That's also important. My sweet baby grows so fast, yet my passion, my love, aches to capture any lucky stride. Growing, in this case, growing and kind of breathing sideways in order to expand and open the channels of breath itself. And between the holy shit, sorry, I said that, clapping, swinging for the sake of it, there is the fusing of a something. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll stop here because I really don't know what it is. I just ended up with the letter A, and I will finish with a 3-4 minute thought to summarize this 1 hour. And it's smart march, and it remained outside the soul, slashed by pride and brawl, bionic, the lowering of expiration, a reflection of self and dreamlike formation. And then you got soul, role, exploration, formation, driven, rumor, wisher, pusher, high and march and branch and divide and heritage and triumph and belonging. And if you blame me now, the journey itself will rise, seeking the claim of to exonerate me for you. Saying for you, I really mean it by saying for you. So when you exonerate the climb of the soul, of the spirit, you still in the fray. Fray. You're still in the fray, and your dreams rise, and then shatter, and then form anew, and fires burn inward, and steady and true, boasting wishes on fragile air. I love it, fragile air, and your bright eyes blink in a slow retreat where branches of safety and longing meet, sleeves tattered, beggars of fate, one last reach beyond the weight. Okay? So blame me not for the road I take, but it's turns cut deep, but my soul won't break. Exonerate the climb. My path stands clear in every ascent I master fear. Yeah, and then that which is cliche sometimes really have a powerful grip, but it it wants to really maintain its level of generosity, kindness. Yeah, kindness more like it, and you wanna just call it bullseye, and then some previous slow motion clumsy entity with the velocity of the silver bullet. But just wanted to mention that first of all, wanted to thank you for your time, for your patience, to allow me. I've been on the phone, I've been on this, calling, pausing, polling, and then I wanted to say we're going to be here tomorrow as we were here yesterday and as much as we're here this afternoon. March 4th, Wednesday, year 2025, here at the Hello Hello Show. My name is Haim Mizrahi, continuing with the tradition of public access, and especially the tradition of the Hello Hello Show that's been on the air since 1980. Of course, not to fail to mention the contribution by Fresh Dougherty, Fast and Sad, and the likes of you out there that make it your business to enhance and fortify this concept. And rightfully so. And we're going to say that don't miss the art exhibitions that we have here. An ongoing art exhibition now for another week, My Life, Your Life. And then we have a black and white show titled Let Alone. Uh, Bob Sullivan, Josephine Mustashak, Van Yulin, Chris LaCour, Jody Gambino, and who else, and myself included. Uh, the opening is March 22nd, 4 to 7. That's Saturday, March 22nd. God bless. We'll be very happy to see you. And we really thank you for your attention and goodwill. And we'll see you soon.